The first time I met Lyra, though that was not the name she used, I thought she was broken. She stood at the edge of Dock 9 on the neutral trade station Kepri, staring at the incoming ships as if they might suddenly remember her and turn back. Her skin shimmered faintly with bioluminescent patterns unique to her species, the Orolin, but those lights were dim, suppressed, like stars behind thick clouds. Every Orolin I had ever seen glowed proudly, emotions spilling across their skin in waves of color. Lyra did not. She called herself Unit 7. That alone told me something was wrong. Dock Authority says you're cleared to board, I said, holding out the data pad. I was just a human courier then, hauling sealed containers and escorted passengers between systems no one wanted to claim. Destination, Epsilon Verge. She took the pad with careful fingers, her movements precise, rehearsed. Acknowledged, she said. Her voice was soft, almost mechanical. Thank you, human. I waited for more, gratitude, irritation, curiosity. Instead, she handed the pad back and stood perfectly still. Most people use names, I said casually. Her glow flickered once, a sharp pulse of silver, then vanished again. Names are inefficient. That was my first hint that her silence was not natural. Over the next 3 weeks aboard the Wayfarer's Det, I learned many things about Unit 7. She never ate with the others. She slept exactly 4 hours a cycle. She avoided mirrors and any form of reflective surface. And whenever someone asked where she came from, her glow dimmed until she looked almost colorless. The crew whispered, of course. Some thought she was an escaped experiment. Others thought she was royalty in hiding. The captain didn't care, as long as she paid in advance and didn't cause trouble. But I cared. Humans have a bad habit of caring when we shouldn't. One night, during artificial dusk, I found her in the observation ring. Stars stretched endlessly beyond the glass. For the first time, her glow was visible, faint blues and violets, like a bruise trying to heal. You don't have to stand like that, I said. You're allowed to relax. She didn't turn. Relaxation is unsafe. For who?
For everyone, she replied.
I leaned against the railing beside her. You know, I once spent 6 months on a mining station where the gravity flickered every hour. You learn to relax or you go insane. Humans endure instability remarkably well, she said. There was something like wonder in her tone. We're stubborn, I said. Comes with the species. Her glow pulsed again, this time warm amber. Then it vanished, as if she had forcibly shut it down. You suppress your bioluminescence, I said slowly. That's painful, isn't it? She stiffened. You should not know that. I've hauled Orolin scientists before. They told me the glow is tied directly to your neural-emotional core. Silence stretched between us. Why do you hide it? I asked gently. She finally turned to face me. Her eyes, large, faceted, and ancient, searched my face as if weighing my worth. Because my light reveals who I am, she said. And who I am must not be known. The truth came to me by accident. On the 12th day, the Wayfarer's Det made an emergency stop at a derelict relay station. The captain sent me to help reroute power. The station's archive core was still partially functional, flickering with ancient data. I wasn't looking for secrets. I swear that. But when I accessed the Orolin historical logs, one phrase caught my eye. The Silence Accord. It spoke of a civil war among the Orolin, ended not by victory, but by erasure. One bloodline, capable of amplifying emotional resonance across entire systems, had been declared too dangerous to exist. Their names were wiped from records. Their children stripped of identity, assigned numbers, and scattered across the galaxy. The last recorded heir bore a name that made my breath catch. Unearthed Solkara. I felt cold all over. That night, I found her again in the observation ring. Unit 7. I began, my voice unsteady. Her glow dimmed in anticipation. Yes, human. I swallowed. Your name, it wasn't erased completely. She froze. Not metaphorically. Literally. Every muscle locked. Her glow vanished entirely, leaving her skin a dull, lifeless gray. Slowly, carefully I said it. Unearthed. The silence that followed was absolute. Then she turned, eyes wide with something I had never seen on an Orlin before, raw terror. Do not speak that, she whispered. That name is dead. Someone tried to kill it, I said softly, but they failed. Her glow exploded outward in blinding waves of gold, violet, and white. The observation glass hummed, vibrating under the force of it. Alarms began to scream throughout the ship. You do not understand what you've done, she said, her voice echoing with harmonic overtones. That name awakens what I was made to forget. Then remember, I said, stepping closer despite the pressure crushing my chest. The galaxy doesn't get to decide you're dangerous just because you exist. She stared at me, light pouring from her like a newborn star. Why would you risk this? I smiled, strained but sincere. Because I'm human, and we don't survive by erasing ourselves. The consequences were immediate. Orlin enforcement vessels intercepted us before we reached Epsilon Verge. They demanded custody of Unearthed Solkara, citing violations of the Silence Accord. The captain panicked. The crew hid. I stood in the docking bay with her, my hands shaking but my resolve steady. She's under my protection, I said. The lead enforcer laughed. You are one human. Unearthed stepped forward. For the first time, she did not suppress her glow. Light flooded the bay, resonating with every living mind present. I felt her sorrow, her fear, her loneliness, and beneath it all, a fierce, unbreakable hope. You silenced us because you were afraid, she said, her voice carrying through hull and vacuum alike. But silence is not peace. The enforcers faltered. Some dropped to their knees, overwhelmed by the emotional truth she projected. Others fled. When it was over, the galaxy was no longer the same. The ending. Months later, I watched from a hillside on New Terra as Unearthed addressed the first interspecies council in centuries. She used her name openly now. The Orlin glow had returned to their people, brighter than ever, no longer hidden or restrained. The Silence Accord was dismantled, its lies exposed. Entire cultures began to heal from truths long buried. Unearthed found me afterward, her glow soft and warm like sunrise. You gave me my voice back, she said. I shook my head. You always had it. I just said your name out loud. She smiled, a real one, luminous and alive. Among my people, names are promises. Then what does mine mean? I asked. She took my hand, her light intertwining gently with my thoughts. It means hope. As the stars rose above us, I realized something profound. The galaxy had tried to silence her. But it was a human who reminded it that some names are meant to be spoken, no matter the cost. And once spoken, they can change everything.